Orale, Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies out there. Well, I'm sure you guys have heard already. And if you haven't heard, well, you're hearing it now. And that is that Crown Jewel is this year, 2025, will not be in Saudi Arabia. Oh, no. It is going south of the equator, baby. It is going to the thunder down under, to the land of koalas and kangaroos. Going to Australia, Perth, Australia in October. Um, it was a little perplexing to me. I thought that Crown Jewel was specifically for Saudi Arabia. Now, I have read reports that the WWE makes as like 4 or 5 times as much more with Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia than they do with WrestleMania here in the States. Um, so I'm not really sure what the business deal is, behind closed doors with this. Like I said, I thought Crown Jewel was made basically for Saudi Arabia. Now they have gone to Perth before. If you guys remember, they had an elimination chamber a while back down in Perth. They've been there. So that that's interesting because whenever they go across the pond, right? If I could use a boxing term, whenever they go across the pond, it's always thrown out there like, wow, you know what? Like those fans, they are into it. And the WWE racks in a lot of money, out there. And it's like, okay, they've been to Australia. They have been to Australia. Not a lot of reports on them, bringing in bank. At least not that I've seen. At least not to the level of like Saudi Arabia or anywhere else, in the UK or something of that sort. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Now, if you guys don't know, the Royal Rumble, yes, the Royal Rumble, one of the big four, right? One of the big four PLEs, the one that starts it all off, the road to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia 2026, next year. So I'm wondering if there was some sort of negotiation there with like, okay, well, since we're going to do the Royal Rumble over there, we're going to do Crown Jewel in Australia. You know, the WWE is more global now than ever before, right? And look, personally, myself personally, I would like to keep, the major four here, but I can't blame the WWE for outsourcing some of these major PLEs. Now, Crown Jewel is kind of new. I don't know. Somebody help me out. When did Crown Jewel start? It wasn't that long ago. I don't know. It was what, like 5 years ago, something like that, more or less. Um, the fact that they're sending Royal Rumble out to Saudi Arabia is like, man, I'm telling you guys, man, there is going to be a time where WrestleMania will be over there or somewhere else. So be it, you know. Those fans show up. That's where the money's at, especially places like UK where they get rowdy, man. Um, I don't really because Crown Jewel, I don't because Crown Jewel has never been here in the States. I don't really have a feeling with one way or the other. I do kind of like the fact that they outsourced it and are going to Australia. Um, I know Clash at the Castle, they're kind of moving that sucker around a little bit here and there, but I'm assuming that the deal is you get one of the big four, one of the big major PLEs, the Royal Rumble. And Crown Jewel, maybe Crown Jewel starts moving around just the way Clash at the Castle is. So What's your guys' thoughts? Who knows? Maybe one day Crown Jewel ends up here in the States somewhere. That'd be something. I don't know how people would react to it because Crown Jewel has never been in the States. So every time I watch Crown Jewel, it's always been at an odd, weird time. If Crown Jewel ever comes to the States, will people go and like, all right, cool, Crown Jewel's here. Let's go check it out. Don't know. I guess it would depend what the storylines are and how good the lineup is gonna be. But Crown Jewel, man, it's brought back um characters that had been retired. It's made some major matches. It brought back Shawn Michaels from retirement. Of course, we like to forget that. It's had Goldberg. It's had The Undertaker. It's had, just a lot of these guys because there's a lot of money in Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Now that they're moving it, at least for this year, let's see what they do with it because Crown Jewel was on the level, at least with the names and the stardom power of a WrestleMania. So it's pretty cool that they're moving it around. It is. I look forward to it. So you guys let me know, man. What's your guys' thoughts on Crown Jewel leaving Saudi Arabia, at least for this year? Not to say that it's not going to go back, but at least for this year. Should it travel around? Or should they just stick with Saudi Arabia? Because honestly, I thought it was specifically made for Saudi Arabia, but I guess not, unless the trade was you get one of our major shows like the Royal Rumble, which, again, quite a few years ago, for those that don't remember, quite a few years ago, I think like in the month of May or something of that sort. They had a second Royal Rumble. It was called the greatest Royal Rumble or the biggest Royal Rumble ever or something of that sort. I don't really remember. That's when Daniel Bryan got his freaking chest all jacked up, but they had 50 instead of 30. They had 50 superstars in that Royal Rumble. But nonetheless, man, what's your guys' thoughts on Crown Jewel going to the Thunder Down Under, Australia? Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all the junkies. Catch you guys on next one.